Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's makeup tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I like to color correct using the LA Girl color correcting concealers, and this is what they look like. And you have anything from greens to oranges, yellows, purples, and they all do something different. Some of them correct redness, some of them correct blue, purple tones. And I'm going to show you guys how I like to use them. So if you guys want to see how I like to use these babies, then keep on watching. All right, so the first one that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. And this one is in the GC990, and it's their orange corrector. And it neutralizes dark tones, so dark skin tones. So if you're someone who has dark skin or, a darker skin complexion, then this is something that you might want to be using. I usually would apply this like underneath the eyes or around the mouth area. Anywhere that you have any discoloration, I would apply this to. All right, so my next on my list is this yellow corrector from LA Girl Cosmetics, and this is the GC991. And this basically neutralizes purple and blue tones. So if you're someone who has both purple and blue underneath the eye and you can actually see it, then definitely use this one here. So this is what I like to use on my clients who have both purple and blue tones. All right, so I'm sure you guys know what this one is for, but if you don't, green usually cancels out redness. So if you have any redness around your on your cheeks, if you're someone who suffers with rosacea, or even around your nose area, if you're, have a little red dot on your face from a pimple or anything like that, I would definitely use the green. The green is to help cancel out any redness. So again, be very careful when you guys are using these because again, they're very, very pigmented. So you don't want to apply too much. Apply a little and then go ahead and blend it out. You don't want to just let it sit there and look super green because again, if you apply your foundation or your concealer over it, it will seep through. So again, make sure you guys are very careful when you guys are using these. All right, so the next on my list is the Purple Lavender Concealer. And this is their GC993. And this helps neutralize any yellow tones. So again, if you have a bruise that you're trying to cover up, or you have any yellow, tones, I really wouldn't use this underneath the eye. I would definitely use this for any bruising or even to cover up a tattoo. You might want to use a little bit of this. Anywhere you see yellow tones, then this is what's going to help, cancel out and neutralize everything. All right, so this one here is their GC994, and this is the Peach Corrector. Again, this actually helps get rid of, if you're someone around my skin tone, this is perfect for you. This is the one that I would recommend opposed to the really deep orange one. Now, again, this is for darker skin tones. This is more for medium to light skin tones. All right, so the next one is this one here, which is GC995, and this is the light yellow corrector. And this one helps neutralize purple, skin or purple blue tones, but more of a lighter. Again, this is something that I would use on someone who is not in the darker skin tone, more of a lighter skin tone because it's not as pigmented. Now this one here is it's a lot more pigmented and it's a lot more brighter. So you don't want to use this on someone who is lighter skin tone. Definitely use this one for more of a deeper skin tone, and then this one for more of a lighter skin tone. So they do exactly the same thing, just their uses are basically depending on your skin tone. So these are perfect. I love these. I think I use these a lot more. I use this one. I used to use this one and I had to kind of apply like the tiniest amount because it was too pigmented, but this is a new one that they just added into the collection. So I'm super excited that they did that, and I am in love with this. So yeah. All right, so for today's makeup tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to not only color correct, but I'm also going to show you guys my everyday makeup routine. This is what I like to do on an everyday basis, mainly because I am a mom and I do go pick up my daughter from school and I don't want to be looking like I'm going to a party. I want to look as natural as I can be, but still look nice. And I love my makeup to look very natural and dewy and just fresh. So I'm going to show you guys what I like to do. Sometimes I pop on some lashes, sometimes I don't. But when I do, I usually like to top it off with a bold lip, or sometimes I just go with a natural lip. It just depends on how I feel that day. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this moisturizer here from Ofra Cosmetics, and it's their new WonderLush moisturizer. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit on my face before I apply everything else. And I love this moisturizer. Super, super hydrating. And you want to go ahead and blend upward. I'm going to add a little bit on the forehead. Again, never miss this step, because this step is very important. You want to make sure your skin is nicely hydrated, so that way, you know, the foundation or concealers don't get stuck in those dry patches. All right, so the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is take this Luxie brush, which is their 211 concealer brush, and I'm going to go ahead and take the LA Girl Concealer in the GC994, and this is their peach corrector. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this is more for my skin tone and any skin tone that is lighter than mine. So this is the one you want to use. And since this does neutralize blue and purple tones, I'm going to apply this right underneath the eye, since I do have some discoloration there. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is apply some on the back of my hand, and a little goes a long way, so definitely start with a pea-size amount. Take your concealer brush and apply this underneath the eye. I do have a mixture of blue and purple, you know, little veins, so I want to go ahead and cancel that out. So this is why I'm using this particular concealer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to apply this and dab this underneath the eye. Now you don't want to go all the way up, because otherwise it will crease. So you just want to lightly apply this all over the areas that you see those purple and blue veins. Now I do have some discoloration around my mouth area, so I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit around that area just to kind of neutralize it and cancel out any darkness that I might have. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is take my fingers and just kind of warm up the product. All right, so as you can see, it already kind of brightened up that under eye. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and take my green concealer, which actually cancels out the redness, any redness that I might have on my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this a little bit around the nose area, and maybe a couple dots that I see, wherever I see redness, that's where I'm going to use this redness. And I usually have like a couple right here on my cheek. So I'm just going to lightly apply some on my cheeks. And I'm also going to apply some on right over here. I have a couple little ones. Now you don't want to go too crazy and apply this like all over the place. Just kind of lightly dab some of the product into there, and then just kind of use your finger to blend. You don't want to see the product. That's a good rule of thumb. You don't want to see the product. You want it to kind of fade away, because what's going to end up happening is it's going to seep through, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, so now that I've done that, I have a little bit of redness here and a little bit here, so I'm going to apply a little bit of that there. And again, as I'm applying, I'm dabbing and blending it out. All right, and I'm also going to apply some around my nose, because I have some redness around that area. Now taking this Eloise little dome brush, I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation with this. And I'm going to be using my Studio Fix Fluid Foundation from MAC, one of my favorites. And I'm going to go ahead and lightly dab this on my skin. And I already kind of started. This is going to be my foundation for today. And this brush is actually really, really soft. And it's super huge. I feel like it's like almost as big as my face. But it does apply really nicely, actually, so I really like it. All right, so now to contour, I'm gonna use the new Pinky Rose Contour Palette. And so I'm gonna go ahead and take this color right over here, and I'm gonna contour with that. And then I'm gonna take this color here to highlight. All right, so to highlight, I'm gonna use this color right over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and highlight underneath the eye, on my brow, down the bridge of my nose, and a little bit on my chin. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and take the RCMA translucent powder, and we'll go ahead and set underneath the eyes. And then taking my beauty blender, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the translucent powder underneath the eye to set it. Now you wanna go ahead and do this right away. Don't want to wait, because otherwise it will crease. Now you want to go ahead and remove the powder right away, because otherwise you will be left with a harsh line. So I'm going to take this brush here from Luxie Beauty, and this is their 660 Precision Foundation Brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and start to lightly dust away that powder. And then I'm going to do this on the chin and the forehead as well. But I'm going to go ahead and leave the translucent powder underneath the eye just for a little bit more longer. I'm not going to go ahead and dust that away. I'm just maybe going to leave it there for another 5 more minutes. The longer that you leave it there, the better. It's not going to crease as much, and it's going to last all day. So you want to make sure that you let that kind of sit there for a little bit. So while I'm baking, and I'm going to let that sit for about another 5 more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and apply some bronzer and also a little bit of blush. So the bronzer that I'm going to use is this one here from MAC Cosmetics, and it's their Give Me Sun. You want to use circular motions. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and take my favorite blush at the moment, which is from TooFaced Cosmetic, and it's their Papa Don't Peach blush. And I'm gonna take this Sigma brush here, which is their large angle contour brush in the number F40. And I'm gonna start to apply my blush. And again, I'm using small circular motions. So next, I'm going to use this Ofra Cosmetics highlighter in Rodeo Drive, one of my favorites. And I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of that highlighter on this Luxie Beauty brush from their Onyx collection. And this is their 522 tapered highlighting brush. I'm going to apply this on the apples of the cheeks. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do, it's like one of my favorites little tricks to do just to kind of give me more of a nice dewy effect is apply some of that on the eyelids and just like lightly dust it on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take my NYC liquid liner. So I already did this eye, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off on the other eye. All right, so now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is apply some of this brown shadow here underneath the eyes. And if you have a lot of darkness, I would recommend using a brown shade instead of a dark shade like a black or anything like that. You wanna stay away from black shadows just because they will enhance that darkness that you have underneath the eyes. So if you want to brighten it up or take away the illusion that you have darkness underneath the eye, definitely use a brown shadow. So I'm going to take this Luxie brush, the 223 short shader brush, and I'm going to go ahead and start to apply some of that shadow underneath the eye. All right, so I went ahead and popped on some eyelashes and I applied some mascara underneath the eyes, and the one that I used was this one here from Rodeo Cosmetics. Now for my lipstick, I'm going to use this one here from Jouer Cosmetics, and this is their liquid cream matte lipstick, and this one is Fruit de la Passion. And I'm going to use this one. It's one of my favorite pinks because it's not like super bright. It's very subtle, but still you know that it's a pink. So I don't know, I really like this one, and it's also very moisturizing on the skin. It doesn't dry and it lasts a very long time. So one of my favorites. Alright you guys, so that is all for this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. Also, if you guys don't want to miss any of my videos, make sure you guys click on that little bell sign next to the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye.